Jai Guru, ma'am.
Jai Guru, how are you? Coming after a
I'm
long time.
no, I came last time also, ma'am. I was there, but I
Acha.
couldn't attend the whole thing. But I thought this time I'm going to attend it right from the beginning.
Nice, nice. Good for me. This way I'm
And
connected to my old friends and
you,
colleagues and everybody. Otherwise, one tends to go into total isolation.
yes, right, ma'am. Absolutely.
This is a very wonderful method of.
You've chosen a very nice day,
All
ma'am. You've
thanks
chosen
to
a very nice
Guruji
day for this.
because. Huh?
I'm saying you've
All
chosen a very nice day for this session because tomorrow is the Mahasamadhi of Guruji.
Yeah, I do it every Friday. So, of course, it's all due to Guruji only that I am on the path in the first place. His magnetism.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely.
Hello,
कहते हैं
everyone.
ना कि yeah, hello Gunjan, nice to see you.
Likewise.
Hello
Sorry, I
Sumanji.
interrupted. Yeah, go ahead, Rashmi. You were saying something.
No, I was just saying that I wasn't saying anything. What have we to say? Anyway, let's just sit up straight and sort of. The topic for today is how to overcome sadness. Sadness would include, sorrow, grief, um, what else? Anything that's negative that is bothering you. Even worries. So let's just sit up and tune into the light of God all around us. This energy, this light, which we are part of, see ourselves as beings of light. And whatever is the darkness of grief, sorrow, unhappiness, sadness, let's gather it together from our heart and, as though in your palm, raise it to the spiritual eye, which is the seat of superconsciousness, offering it to God and Gurus. May we be freed of all this darkness, including the darkness of disease, often sorrow and sadness, they manifest as disease in the body. Let's try to visualize a Havan Kund at the spiritual eye, sacred fire burning at the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows, and whatever in your life is undesirable, unhappy, let us just throw it into this Havan Kund, watching it burn, transforming into transmuting into light and energy, healthy energy. See this energy floating away, merging into the universe, Feel yourself clear and light. Stay with that thought for a moment. Shant, shant, shant. So now, today, we will look at some tips that have been given to us to overcome sadness. And after every one of those tips, I'll give a short break so that anybody who feels like can share something that they want to. Is that good? Understood?
Yeah, understood. Great.
Thanks for answering. um, to overcome sadness, Paramahansa Yogananda and Swami Kriyananda offer several practical tips and spiritual approach. They say, firstly, raise your energy and channel it outward. Now, as we all know, when we are sad or we are depressed or generally feeling low, we are focused on ourselves. Something just happened and we keep dwelling on it. It keeps repeating in the head, and sometimes it's like this: why did this happen? What was my fault? And sometimes it's like this: oh, they are always like this. They always do this with me. And the heart, because the feelings are involved, so the heart energy gets warped, spoiled. And you can visualize, your heart chakra as a lotus, and the lotus is sort of drooping. So what they tell us is to raise your energy from the heart to the brain. Now, we did something like that just now, and then channel it into creative activity or selfless service to others. This helps shift your focus and uplifts your inner state. So I'll share that when my father passed, that was in 1987, I was really shattered, and the father is a very important figure in our lives, especially when we are just growing up and young people. Of course, if you've lived a full life and your father is 80 and passing, it may not be so shattering because we all know that we are mortal. But my father was not even 60, he passed. And I didn't know what to do with myself. I couldn't have my meals even on the table because he would have been sitting opposite to me and I couldn't eat. I stopped eating on the dining table. It was really difficult, and I couldn't watch any father and daughter walking around because it reminded me so much and I missed my father so much. So while this was going on, I was already in service though. So what could I do? I threw myself into the work consciously. And every time this sadness came, I would, start attending to something or the other which was very pressing so as to take my mind away. And because I was in government service, I got the opportunity to be helping others. So now over to you all. Anybody who wants to share something?
I just want to share a story about Buddha.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you said when we complain, that affects our energy.
Mm.
So, uh, Shariputra was a very important disciple of Buddha.
Okay.
Shariputra. Yes. So, and these people, they used to go for bhiksha
Mm.
because whatever they eat, they get in bhiksha only. So they went to one house, and when they knocked, the Shariputra said, I think this chap is not going to give us anything. He is like this. He always shoos us away. So, before, that man came out, and before he saw his reaction, he complained and he became judgmental. So Buddha said, immediately all his positive energies vanished.
Mm.
So this is what happens when we are judgmental or when we complain. So we
Mm.
lose good fortune.
Yeah, that's true. We are all beings of energy also, and so the energy around us gets spoiled.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, shall I go on to the next tip?
yeah,
Then the next tip is mentally affirm your inner authority. I am not my moods. I am not subject to the moods of others. I am ruler in my kingdom of thoughts and feelings. Strive always to be radiating a certain kind of wavelength. Strive always, his languages, Guruji's languages, strive always to be a cause, not an effect in your thoughts and actions. And this is one place where the ego can be useful. We'll come to another place where the ego is not going to be useful, but here, for affirming your inner authority, the ego is useful. It's very useful to say, how dare somebody, spoil my mental peace? How dare they do this? I am not going to allow it to happen. And so that's why he says, I'm the ruler in my kingdom of thoughts and feelings. And that's one place where the ego can really be um, helping you to get back on your feet. Now, for example, that it happens very often in classes or in peer groups. Sometimes the rest of the group will pick on someone and misbehave with them. And this person, however, it also happens when this person is very good at the work. You'll find in the professional sphere also, if you're too good, then the others will try to somehow malign you. And sometimes, mostly it's behind your back, but sometimes it comes to your ears. And you find it very painful because you've been trying to be good and helpful, and you've been trying to work on yourself and improve your excellence. And this is what is coming your way. So in a situation like this, it's very, very useful to tell yourself that I won't allow it. You don't have to get back at people, because then you would be harboring ill feelings, and which again would warp the energy of the heart. But you can certainly say, I'm not going to get pulled down. I will continue. I'll continue to be working. So, anybody wants to share something?
I have a question, ma'am.
Yeah,
Um, is it like the same thing when we say, I have not given permission to anyone to make me angry? Yes, sir.
exactly. Exactly. No one has the right, and I'm not going to allow them to hijack my mental state.
Yeah.
Very important. Very important. I mean, people are important to us in our lives, but you got to draw a line within yourself at least, so that they can't like totally ruin your mental atmosphere. You owe it to yourself.
Yeah, in
No
fact,
one but you
we
can. Uh,
we create type of environment we want around us, isn't it? If we want to be happy, so we create happiness around us, and
yeah,
we are able to do it.
yeah. But sometimes you do come across aberrations, and you can
Yeah.
say that, the masters are testing you or God is testing you. And we all have some or the other karma, piche se, which gives us relatives who are difficult to handle and can even be, toxic. Can't get rid of them. They are around you. They have a right to be in your life.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
you have a right to guard against what they can do to your mind and your heart.
Hmm.
That we should make sure that anyone else.
Ma'am, this is so true. What you just said. I experienced this at the fag end of my career when I took VRS. A couple of months before I took VRS, I faced this. Where some of my in fact my immediate boss, who was my junior, became my boss. I faced this situation where the person was nitpicking, the person was trying to find fault in my files. I wouldn't like to take any names here, ma'am. The very high official of the department also, it happened with me where because I didn't give in to the thing that they wanted to give those the we had this thing of giving funds to NGOs. So I was picked. I was literally, how do I say, mentally harassed because I did not give in to this entire thing of trying want saying giving approval to NGOs whom I thought were absolutely not fit for those loans, and because of
Hmm.
that. This particular senior officer saw to it that I got memos. I was mentally harassed. Uh, all these kind of things happened, ma'am, and I was extremely disturbed at that time, but not realizing, as you rightly said, that sometimes situations happen because one cycle of life is going getting over and maybe a next
Yeah,
cycle is going to start. At that time I didn't realize that, and I think that was the best decision of my life, and I wouldn't have taken it had I not faced this kind of a situation in the office. I did try to stand up to it, but it had become too much.
yeah,
The mental harassment, maybe
yeah,
I was not as mature at that time. I was not as spiritually, what do I say, ma'am, mature at that time to realize what was happening. Only later now, when I look back, I realize that yes, uh, the masters were helping me take a step which I wouldn't have maybe taken. Uh, but I took that step, and ma'am, I'm the happiest person because I get time for myself, for my spiritual studies. Um, I'm, I mean, it was a blessing in disguise. It was a blessing.
absolutely, absolutely. So I'm sorry you had to go through a tough time, but it always strengthens us and it cleans out many things. Okay, so now we come to the third one is devote yourself. The title is engage in useful activity. Devote yourself selflessly to helping others. Useful activity can help overcome depression and sadness by diverting the mind and creating positive energy. And so here is what he says about the ego. And he says, live beyond the ego. So the ego is there, but Master taught that the greater the emphasis on satisfying the ego, the less one experiences true divine joy. Joy is diminished when one lives irresponsibly for ego fulfillment. Lasting joy comes from living for God and fulfilling one's duties with sincerity, even when it's not immediately enjoyable. The next thing he tells us is fulfill your life's duties with patience and willpower. True joy is a long term attainment. Success and happiness come to those who clearly visualize their goals and then use their creative ability, willpower, detailed attention, and patience to manifest those goals. Master emphasized that happiness arises first by manifesting small desires and then greater dreams. And the third thing he tells us is meditate deeply and regularly. Meditation helps cultivate calmness and joy until they become second nature. Master encouraged meditating until ecstasy and divine joy naturally arise, reminding us that divine joy is not distant but always accessible. So, here I'd like to share an experience of my own that I've been trying to meditate ever since I can remember, but I seriously came to this path, I think in 2010 or something. So, but then, it's quite a challenge to take out that time and, that peaceful space to meditate every day. And so we have this practice of going on retreats and things like that. So there was this retreat to which I went, which was a silent retreat, meaning you're not supposed to talk to each other. You're not supposed to talk to anybody. You're not supposed to take your phone. You should tell your family that that you're out of reach, and you're not supposed to watch films. You're not supposed to listen to music. You're not supposed to read. The idea is sannyas, matlab you live with yourself. So this was for not very long, only one full day. And even our meals, we will not tell the cook ke bhai ek chapati aur do. When it comes, then you just take it. If it doesn't come, you don't take. I mean, you don't ask anything. You're not supposed to open your mouth. And so I attended this. It was the first time I attended it, and uh, at the end of it, when we were, sort of wrapping up, believe me, nobody wanted to talk. Everybody was so full and satisfied within themselves, so peaceful, that it was as though by speaking you would disturb your own inner peace. And so when we came back to the ashram, now the ashram itself is a nice place. I mean, you don't have any adverse uh, behavior to face. But even when we came back to the ashram, we didn't want to talk. And we were just hoping that it would somehow get extended, some more. So this was the joy of being with yourself, and being with your own thoughts. I mean, that's why they say, you are Satchidanand, ever existing, ever new bliss. Because if you can be with yourself, then you can experience the joy of simply being. Now over to everyone. Anybody wants to share?
Hi, Rashmi. This is Gunjan. So,
Yeah,
just want to let you know that currently, today is the last day actually. My daughter-in-law, she's doing Vipassana. They call it Vipassana for
yeah, yeah.
10 days. 10
Uh-huh.
days.
Uh,
So, my son did it in Benares last year. My daughter-in-law is doing it this year, and I will be doing it also. It's 10 days, so it's not so easy, but it will be in some, Boston or Dallas. So I'm planning to do that this year myself, but I have done one day as well at the ashram in, India, but that was not so serious. Like it was serious, but this one is like truly serious. No technology, no music, no talking, even not looking at anybody. Like you don't want to make eye
yes,
contact
yes.
either.
That's
So,
part of it, not making eye contact. Yeah.
right, I am so excited to do that, and I think it really will help. I have not done it, so I will tell you more after I complete it. And but this year it is my, I'm hoping I will do it this year. It's on my agenda to do. So good thing you brought it up. So now it gives me more energy and courage to do it. I have to plan it though.
Yeah.
Thank you. Mhm.
Sometimes I think, that we should consciously remember the times when we were innocent children. I mean, not the time when we were sort of quarreling with our brothers and sisters, but even, before that, when we were just coming to relate to the world and there was no idea about sadness or unpleasantness. And if the mother would, give us a scolding or even hit us, we would just sit and cry and then come back to the mother again.
Yep.
So that's exactly what we should cultivate, that kind of a simplicity in the heart. But yeah, in adult life, it's very difficult to follow that, and adult life is very difficult.
Yeah, that's
like
life.
like
That's
she was
life.
just sharing, Shivani. Shivani, I mean, was
Yeah.
being sort of driven to nuts. If she hadn't left, she would have been nuts. Anyway, anyway, so now let's come to the next one. So the next one is do not brood. Instead, you should act. Avoid dwelling on sadness. Instead, uplift your heart's feeling by standing upright, inhaling deeply, drawing courage upward from your heart to your forehead, and then exhaling and casting out mental weakness and negativity. Something like what we did at the beginning of this thing, except that he's asking us to stand and inhale and draw courage upward from the heart to the forehead. So, the heart being the seat of emotions, the heart chakra, the more you focus on it and convert, and draw light into the heart chakra, the happier and more composed you will be. So this looks like a sort of a repetition, and we'll come to the next one. Develop inner companionship. Overcome loneliness and sadness by cultivating inner friends such as creative thoughts, high ideals, noble aspirations. Visualize your mind as a happy, self motivated nation. Now, this is very interesting. Visualize your mind as a happy, self motivated nation. Now, if uh, I don't know if how many of you are familiar with this kind of interpretation, but the Mahabharata, the fight between the war between the Kauravas and Pandavas, is actually a war between our own. It's an allegory. And it's a war between our own good tendencies and bad tendencies. So the bad tendencies are the ones, of course, some are very easy to identify, that is jealousy, hatred, anger, and things like that, and greed. But some are difficult to identify, and they masquerade as friends. Now, for example, sadness coming to you saying, "Poor you, you've been so much wronged, and you should feel sorry for yourself. I feel so sorry for you. You have every business to be, sad and downcast and lonely and depressed. Nobody is your friend." So that is actually an enemy masquerading as a friend. We have to recognize it. And the friend is, have courage, forgive them. Maybe they didn't understand, maybe they didn't mean it. And you are strong enough to take this. Nothing can destroy you. And learn to love yourself. These are the friends, the real friends. So this is an interesting one. See your mind as a nation of all these feelings. What does it say? It says, visualize your mind as a happy, self-motivated nation. So the more we engage ourselves in creativity, in living nobly, helping others. Which I remember one. A friend of mine got operated, and after the operation they put you in a post-operative chamber. So there was this other woman too who had been operated for something, and this friend of mine was in really, really deep pain herself, but the other woman was also moaning. So this friend of mine tells her, कोई बात नहीं अभी ठीक हो जाएगा देख लेना. you know I was so amazed, when I heard this. Okay, that's an attitude actually. So even when you are not at your best, try to do something or the other for someone or the other, so that your focus shifts from your own grief and sorrow and difficulties, and they become easier to handle. Anybody else wants to share something? Hello.
No, very, very well said. Very well said, Rashmi, really. And, I think it is very true that we need to just try to overcome, like you said, our
Yeah.
our heart of good and evil lives within us, and they always say whatever you feed is gonna grow, so
Yes,
we
yes,
always have
yes. That's
to,
the one that will grow.
yes, yeah, so we always have to try and remember, even though it is difficult at times, but we have to remind ourselves that we need to keep doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And then it is easier to overcome the negativity from that is coming, because
Around
we
us.
are
Yeah.
living in this, yeah, we are living in this world. It is not a bubble we are living in. And every day, every moment, actually, just the other day, we had this program. I'm going to share a small story. And what happened was, somebody, like it was a very trivial thing, but they did it on purpose to annoy me, and it did annoy me. But my reaction was, then I said, I can't harbor this. I had to say something, so I said it. And you won't believe, once I took it out of my system, and in a nice way, I didn't retaliate, I wasn't nasty or anything. I did it in a nice way. I said, I think you forgot this, and I'm just reminding you. and it should be included in our report. I had done something and they did everything except for my piece. It was trivial. If it was an oversight, it was not a problem, but it was intentional, and I knew it was intentional. So I said, okay, I have to stand up for my right. So I just said it to them, and I said, it's okay. And after that, I said, it does not matter. And there were two things, one for myself and one for somebody else, like two things that were omitted and they were done intentionally. So I took up the cause for the other person. I said, we definitely need to recognize that because it was much appreciated or whatever it was. And then I just said, okay, if it happens, it happens. It doesn't, it just made me so light. And I didn't even think twice. And the result was they came around and they said, oh, yeah, it was oversight because it went out in the public, like in the whole group. It was not my one-to-one. First, I tried to reaching out to them by calling, by texting. They didn't respond. Then I said, okay, this is happening in the group. All I need to do is say it nicely and then get it out of my chest because they were not responding to me. They knew why I was calling, or I was, they were just being themselves
Yeah, they have
the
a
way
guilty
they are.
conscience. Yeah.
And so I thought that was good, and it felt good not to retaliate, yet speak up, do it in a way it is not hurting them and getting it out of your chest because you can't bottle it up inside you. Because if I had
No,
not
no,
done
it's
that,
it's rankles. Yeah,
it would have
that's right.
caused more aggravation. So just something I thought I'll share with you guys. It happened recently, so anyways, but very good. See, Rashmi, what you tell and what we need to remind ourselves every day is these things will happen in every day, but our reaction, because we are human, we will have that reaction unless we become like the master or somebody. Our goal is to be like that higher spiritual people. But reminding ourselves and you doing this weekly really is a very good thing. Anything, any topic we talk about. So I must say, I want to thank you, Rashmi, for doing this. Doesn't matter how many people or whatever, but I'm sure everybody gets a lot out of it. And if we can remind ourselves weekly, it will become a habit. We will do it daily,
Yeah.
and that's why. So thank you, my dear.
So that's the purpose. So now we
Yep.
come to the next one, which I think is when sorrow or sadness arise, don't give it strength. Do not give it strength by acknowledging or indulging in it. Laugh at sorrow to cheat it of its joy. When Mr. Sorrow, now this is exactly verbatim what Paramahansaji has said. So it's put in a very funny manner. So I thought I should share. When Mr. Sorrow comes, do not give him strength by acknowledging his presence. If you feed him with the nectar of your tears, just mind it, the nectar of your tears, he will stay. He will soon spread all over the bedroom of your life. The minute he arrives, laugh at him. That will cheat him of his joy. Then kick him in the stomach. Apply the fists, limbs, and elbows of your will and throw him entirely out of the chamber of your life. Thus, you will win both a physical and a metaphysical victory over sorrow. One who was born disadvantaged in any way. Now, this is very important. Many of us would know somebody or the other who has a handicap or, some shortcoming. Some people have learning disabilities. Um, so, one who was born disadvantaged in any way should resist fiercely the temptation to wallow in self pity. To feel sorry for oneself is to dilute one's inner power to overcome. Remember, sadness is temporary and limited. Know that sorrow springs from identification and is not overcome by more sorrow but with joy. So, to overcome sorrow, you must generate joy. Do not let sorrow stay too long, as it can rob you of your soul's richest possession, which is perennial bliss, Satchitanand. Again and again, we are reminded of our true nature, which is Satchitanand. And so
That's
we come back.
Satchitanand,
Yes,
isn't it?
Satchitanand.
If you Sandhi Vichet kare Sat, Chit, and Anand.
Yes,
So
Sat.
I just
Sat
want to,
is, Sat is ever there. Chit is like your chit and Anand. आप
yeah,
बताइए शेयर करिए.
yeah. I just, I want to tell about my daughter, younger
Hmm.
daughter. She had, I shouldn't be, calling bad name, but she had a bad boss, and
Hmm.
who didn't know anything. And my daughter used to do everything, and one day she had a showdown with her boss. So what she did, she made her redundant in the company.
She made her.
Redundant in the company,
Okay.
like she lost her job.
Huh.
So she was in a big company, although she's still completing her period over there. So and then she told me this in the evening, and I said, so now what will happen? She said,
Hmm.
it's a very good thing, I'm going to get a redundancy allowance. There will be a betterment. Yeah, there in the companies, if you are made redundant by the company, they give you redundancy allowance, and that's
Okay.
a big amount.
Oh,
Yeah. So she said,
very
I shouldn't
interesting.
be, yeah, I shouldn't be feeling bad about it. I'll get a lot of money. So
Uh-huh.
you have to find some in that sorrow or bad thing. You have to find something
Yeah.
good. Okay, this thing has happened, so I'll get this thing, something better out of it.
Yeah. You should apply your mind in the direction which is sort of helpful in keeping your spirit up,
Yeah,
rather than you
although
know.
there were ups and downs. For 3 months she was looking for a job. She appeared in so many interviews, but
Hmm.
all the time I used to tell her that it was for good. So
Hmm.
uh, she shouldn't be depressed or in low life condition.
Yeah.
So this really helps, as you said. कि, and we have to tell sorrow that you don't have any role in my life, no place in my life, not role, no place in my life. No, I'll never be sad. What,
Hmm.
whatever,
I won't allow myself to be sad.
yeah,
I will simply not allow myself to be sad.
yes.
एक
So,
घंटा दो घंटा बहुत बड़ा लॉस हो गया तो एक दिन में भी उससे ज्यादा नहीं. Perk up.
as you as you said earlier, that you don't have to brood over anything.
Don't
You have
brood.
to, yeah, live in present, in the present moment, enjoy the present moment. Don't brood over it.
So now, as a wrap up, now those were the tips. But here is the wrap up. I mean, the attitude that we have to keep and preserve. This is again from this book, How to Be Happy All the Time by Paramahansa Yogananda. And he says, the soul being individualized spirit, if given a chance to unfold, can manifest all the fulfillment and satisfaction of the spirit. Here, spirit is actually God. So the soul, being individualized God, you may say, can manifest all the fulfillment and satisfaction of God. It is through long continued contact with changeable matter that material desires are developed. Protect the soul from disturbance created within your mind by the mad dance of sorrow producing desire. Learn to overcome wild, wicked desire. Realize that you do not need the things which create misery. For if you search within your soul, you will find there true happiness and lasting peace or bliss. The soul's nature is bliss, a lasting inner state of ever new, ever changing joy, which eternally entertains, even when one passes through the trials of physical suffering or of death. First, give the soul the opportunity to manifest this state by meditation. Then, constantly living in this state, do your duty to the body, to the mind, and to the world. You need not give up your ambitions and become negative. On the contrary, let the everlasting joy, which is your true nature, help you to realize all noble ambitions. Yeah, this is beautiful what he's saying now. You are immortals, endowed with eternal joy. Never forget this during your play with changeable mortal life. This world is but a stage on which you play your parts under the direction of the divine stage manager. Play them well, whether they be tragic or comic, always remembering that your real nature is eternal bliss and nothing else. So now let's have a short meditation. Let's all sit up straight, spine erect, feet flat on the ground or in Sukhasana. Make sure your spine is straight. A bent spine is the enemy of self-realization, we are told. So we have to keep straight spines. As you know, close your eyes, but keep your gaze uplifted behind closed eyes. And bring your attention to the breath. Let us first relax the body. Every meditation consists of three parts: relaxation, concentration, and expansion. Let us first relax the body. Bring your attention to your feet. Slightly tense the feet and relax them. The calves, tense slightly and relax. Consciously relax and feel the thighs, which meet the chair or the seat you are sitting on. Tense and relax. The buttocks, feel the chair firm under your seat. Make sure the spine is erect. Keep your palms upturned at the junction of thigh and abdomen. Relax the lower abdomen. Relax the upper abdomen above the navel. For a moment, focus on the abdomen. Watch it expand as you inhale, contract as you exhale. Another breath. Watch your belly expand as you inhale, contract as you exhale. Relax your palms. Relax your forearms, your upper arms, your shoulders. Relax your chest. For a moment, focus on your chest. Become aware of the breath moving in, coming out. The expansion of the belly is followed by expansion of the chest. The contraction of the belly is followed by contraction of the chest. Establish that rhythm. Or bring your attention back to the shoulders. Draw your shoulders slightly back so that the spine is erect. Relax your neck. Relax the cheeks. Relax the eyelids. Relax the forehead. Relax the top of the head. The back of the head. Bring your attention to the spiritual eye, the point between the eyebrows. Examine the body. Make sure it is entirely relaxed. Now let us focus on the breath as it comes and goes of its own accord. Just watch the breath. Feel the breath cool upon inhalation, warm As you exhale, try to hear the sound hong on inhalation, saw on exhalation. This is the sound of the breath. As you inhale, feel gratitude for the gift of life. As you exhale, feel yourself one with the universe. Gratitude on inhalation, expansion and unity on exhalation. Feel your breath merging with the universe around you. Feel as if you are enveloped in a sphere of light. See yourself as a being of light, radiating light and love to everyone around you. Feel yourself complete. You need nothing. Feel yourself a child of God, loved by God, cherished and guided by the masters. Feel yourself in the loving gaze of Divine Mother or of Sri Krishna or of Buddha or Sri Yogananda, whoever is sacred and dear to you. They are all the same. Enlightened beings whose energies are one with God. Feel yourself one with divine energy. Feel the power of your soul. You are strong. You are bliss. You are calmness. You are all knowing, wise. Connect with the wisdom of the universe. Feel yourself as a divine being. Forgive those that have hurt you. They know nothing better. But you are large, you are strong, you are powerful. You can forgive them. Radiate love and peace to everyone around you. Stay with that thought. Shan, shan, shan. When you are ready, please open your eyes. Put on your videos if you can. Any questions, sharing, observations?
May I ask a question?
Yeah, yeah. Please, please, please.
You were talking about forgiveness, and even Gunjan shared an episode, her experience. So my question here is two couple of questions about forgiveness. See, there was even I went through an episode where somebody was like hurting me continuously, but I couldn't. I shouldn't have used the word retaliate. I couldn't sort of express myself out of politeness. You see, we've been trained
Uh,
sort of
yeah,
to not be rude, even if somebody else is. So the only answer I found was to step back and reduce my interaction, right?
right.
So finally, the person maybe realized that there was something off, and the apology did come,
Hmm.
but I wasn't able to, like, sort of, I still had that inhibition. I couldn't say that. So, that person expressed that they know he or she noticed that I wasn't in touch. So, if I have hurt you, then I'm sorry. That was what came. I still didn't have the courage to spell out what it was. Okay. So I was only trying to
Yeah,
set my boundary without like being aggressive or anything. Now, the thing is, I heard Gunjan say that once it was off my chest. Now, in this case, I was in a dilemma. Should I express what was wrong or just let it go? And the person was expecting me to be the same as I was earlier. But now I'd kind of learned my lesson because it wasn't just one or two incidents. It had been going on for quite some time. So now if I go back to my then normal, then it would be the same. Now, what do I do in this situation? Does forgiveness mean that I express it, let the person back, or what?
so here you've learned a lesson. That's one important thing to remember. We also realize who is of what kind through our interactions. And
Hmm.
part of our sovereignty over ourselves,
Hmm.
part of that is that we decide whether to associate or to not associate.
Hmm.
So if you feel that this person consciously has been misbehaving and hurting, then you're well within your rights to dissociate. When we say forgive, that does not mean you go back to square one. You may forgive without saying a single word. The forgiveness is for yourself. So forgiveness. Now listen, this was something that I was going to share, but I didn't ultimately because of time. But I think now it's appropriate. When we forgive those who seek to hurt us, we rob them of their power to do us harm. Better still, if they respond with love, they will reunite their strength to ours, so our strength becomes double. But here, it's a question of if I've hurt you, if I've hurt you. A
Yeah,
more
that's my
genuine,
question. I haven't
that's,
been able to
yeah,
express what it was. I
yeah.
haven't been.
So the better way, if the person was sincere, would have approached you personally and said, have I hurt you? Why are you different? But then when it is that if I've hurt you, that is not a complete realization on their part. But so I'll continue from the book. It says forgiveness should not be given primarily for its effect on others, but for the freedom it affirms in our own hearts. Because if you chalo chodo. Let's not use the word forgiveness.
Hmm.
Let's say चलो छोड़ो उसको इतनी ही समझ थी
Hmm.
उसको इतनी ही समझ थी
No, but should the
whether
person be
that
aware?
means
Should the person be made aware of what they're
it's
doing? Not just with me, but others also.
we
No.
don't want to change the world.
Okay.
We want to keep ourselves safe and happy and move forward.
Hmm.
If it comes to that, if they honestly come, then you can tell them.
Hmm.
But most of the time, what my experience is, it doesn't really help.
Ah.
Nobody really wants to see their own faults. And we have to survive, and we have to keep our integrity meaning that we don't get shattered by bad behavior from other people. So it's safer and you'll be stronger if you forgive in your own heart कि चलो इनको इतनी ही समझती. Don't keep sort of
Dwelling, thinking,
following,
dwelling on, nurturing,
nurturing that
dwelling,
hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just let it be. Okay? Bygones be bygones type of thing.
Can I say
No, but
something, ma'am?
if the person wants to go back to the then normal because it is serving their purpose to some
No, but then
extent.
you don't have to fall in. Don't
Mm-hmm.
have to fall in.
Okay,
Keep your
thank you.
self-respect
Mm.
and don't expose yourself to unnecessary, abuse and things like that. It's like, sometimes people have an abusive marriage.
That is different, if it's family, sometimes you have to put up for the sake of so many things. But I don't think we are at the stage we need to take, unnecessary.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Why take rubbish?
Mm.
I I want to
Yeah.
just say a few things here. I just want to say that like we know if that's her nature, maybe she gets something more from you. That's why she wants this relationship, but it does not benefit you. So I would say keep boundaries.
Yeah.
You be
I'm
nice to
sticking to
her.
those. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sticking to
so
those. Yeah. Mm.
is keep boundaries. It will make you feel good. Then you don't feel guilty that you're not talking, and it won't come in your mind so much that, oh, did I do wrong to her? What should I have done? Because you are doing your best and you are making these boundaries so that she cannot come into your space and hurt you anymore. And
Mm-hmm.
don't let your guard down completely. This is, I would
Mm-hmm.
deal with it like that.
Yeah,
That's my
absolutely.
two cents.
Absolutely. You have to protect
Yeah,
yourself.
yeah,
Your first
yeah.
dharma is towards yourself as well. If you
Yeah.
don't love yourself, who will love you?
And I will
And
tell
Rashmi,
you, Deepa,
sorry.
I have similar situation. I have a very, very close friend, but sometimes I feel she becomes little bit nasty because of jealousy or something comes out. But I know, so now I have kept my distance, but I still like her company. So I would not give up that relationship. We go 20 years, and I can see why some of those things come. So I don't blame her because situations are different. Everybody's situation is different. So she views her situation a little less fortunate than some other people's or something. And that's where it stems from her negativity. But then again, she manages to overcome. So that is how I have started dealing with her, keeping my boundaries. And this way, I don't feel guilty that I have cut off or I'm doing less for my friend. And in the meantime, I don't associate as much. That's it. So that keeping my
Yeah, yeah,
boundaries
yeah,
is how I
yeah,
would
yeah.
say.
So,
That's
Rashmi, do
the
you,
best
uh,
way.
is the conclusion that it's no point kind of expressing it, let it be, whatever it is, it won't help to say what had hurt?
No, I wouldn't say. I mean, if you find an opportunity,
Hmm. Hmm.
if she is receptive, she or he, whoever is receptive, then you could try to
Okay.
put it across.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
that's a very, very dangerous zone
Dangerous.
in the sense
Yes. Yes.
it can
Yes,
really
correct.
hurt you even more.
Yeah, yeah.
So
And
that's why I'm sort of discouraging talking about it, because somehow it, in my experience, it has never helped.
okay, thank you.
I just want to add something which
Yeah.
really helps me if somebody behaves like that. Because I believe a lot in karma theory. And I feel that the person who is doing something wrong is, adding to their bad karmas. And if I'm not, in any way being negative, so I'm collecting my good karma so that we can leave up to God. Okay,
Yes.
what is right and what is wrong, let God decide.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because we are nobody to be judgmental about anything.
Yeah, yeah,
Why
that's
the
true.
other person behave like that, we really don't know. Because what you are saying, that is from your perception. Why the
Hmm.
other person is behaving like that, we don't know. For that we need to train ourselves in empathy. Because
Yeah.
number of times we become judgmental ki that person has done something wrong or something because of this. And
But वो
number of
कई बार
times this
कई
मैम
कई
बहुत
बार
बार ऐसा होता है कि हम बाद में रिपेंट करते हैं कि ओ ये ऐसा था,
hmm.
ये हमें मालूम ही नहीं
So
था.
people sometimes, they've been through stuff and their mind becomes warped.
Yeah.
So they are launching themselves into the world from that warped space,
Yes.
which is, I mean, they're not comfortable with themselves. Many people have had abusive childhoods. Many people have been cheated. So, I mean, they want to show that, they're above it all and that kind of thing. But sometimes it rubs off on the wrong people. That also happens.
Yeah, and
Um,
then I feel ke, oh, that person is suffering. Because in our
yeah.
Buddhist, we always say that that person is doing something wrong because that person is unhappy.
Yeah.
And we pray for their happiness.
There's another theory actually which says that जिसके पास जो है
वही देगा.
वो
वो
वही तो
देगा.
बांटेगा.
हाँ,
बिल्कुल.
लव है तो लव देगा.
हाँ.
हाँ,
और
हाँ, हाँ.
जब उसके दिल में है ही नहीं है, उसने
हाँ,
कभी
हाँ.
एक्सपीरियंस ही नहीं किया, तो वो
हाँ,
कैसे देगा?
हाँ, हाँ,
तो
हाँ.
मैम
करेक्ट.
इसलिए जरूरी है कि हम उनको लव दें और वो भी उसको रेसिप्रोकेट करना सीखे.
नहीं, ओपनली मत दो, मन में रखो
Yeah.
लविंग
हाँ.
फीलिंग. That will
Yeah.
keep you insulated from any bad behavior,
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
and you won't be like erring on the wrong side. You won't
And
be
one, yeah. Go
yeah,
ahead, please finish.
yeah,
No,
yeah,
no,
no, no,
finish,
done,
Rashmi.
done, done.
No, so Deepa, like Rashmi
Yeah.
is saying, कि आप अपने दिल में खुश रहो और कहो, and whenever she behaves like that, just accept it. You know her nature, and that nature is not gonna change. So it's so much more easier for us to accept and to move on and to not to feel hurt.
No, no. My
Because,
basic question was, we should I express it or just let? That is my dilemma right now. So it's
oh,
been
okay, so
answered.
my, yeah,
Uh,
so on that, I would
uh,
say, like Rashmi said, it's like walking on eggshells. You have to be very careful
Yeah,
because if you say, ऐसा लगा, because it could be retaliation on her part.
no,
What do you
no, no.
mean?
I
You
yeah,
got
guys
it.
said
Got it.
like this.
Better.
How did you feel? How can you say, I'm so caring, I'm this? How could you take it like that? And that becomes like a confrontation. Instead of
yeah,
resolving it, it could flare up, and then now she
yeah,
doesn't want to talk. So I, like Rashmi said, you have to be careful, and you have to just let it go. You don't have to respond. Just keep going and see where it takes you, your relationship with this person. Just be normal. Don't give too much thought that you need to come out and explain yourself. You just say, okay, she's sorry, and like you explained, you said, yeah, there were personal things going on in my life, so I kept this distance. But obviously, she likes your company or she gets something more from your, you know, so she wants to continue
No,
that.
it's
Or
a kind of relationship of convenience. It's so to
oh,
say that way,
acha,
you know.
acha ji.
So it depends. I
And
mean, you take
Yeah, it
your
depends on
call,
the situation. Yeah, on the
mhm.
situation. Yes.
take your call,
Mhm.
but I don't think it, confrontation or telling them that this is what's wrong with you doesn't
No,
help.
it doesn't
Yeah,
help. Doesn't
doesn't
help. Yeah.
help. Yeah,
Doesn't
yeah,
help. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
Okay,
Sonali,
guys.
our little one. Sonali, कुछ कहना है?
So wonderful session once again. Nice seeing you
Yeah.
all, and I look forward to next week. Take care. Bye bye.
Okay. Okay.